I got on the scale on Christmas morning. Y'all, let me just say, never get on the scale the day you're going to eat a bunch of food or potentially eat a bunch of calories. Don't do that. Don't get on the scale because you'll be so depressed. You'll just want to eat more. And that's the way it works for me. I wanted just to eat more because, heck, I've already got to this point. I might as well. Hey, what's up, everybody? John here, Delighted Acres Farm. Today's Saturday. It is overcast. It rained last night, and we got, I don't know, we might have got about an inch of rain or so, and we had some thunder, but not a whole lot, and it was pretty close to bedtime, so we were already pretty much asleep by the time the thunderstorms came in, and so I don't know how much thunder and lightning we got, but we was asleep. Also, we were asleep when a series of earthquakes happened last night. One of them was pretty good size. So, east of Oklahoma City is Prague, Oklahoma, and Sparks, Oklahoma, and they are out. They're out around Shawnee area. And so, if you're from Oklahoma, you may know where those are. If you're not, just look it up on a map. And Prague and Sparks, in that area, there were some earthquakes. And earthquakes are pretty common in Oklahoma. They have been for centuries. There have been some pretty good size earthquakes. There's some mini faults out here that aren't part of larger fault systems, but there are faults. And so last night, there was an earthquake that was felt far and wide. It was a 5.1 in the Prague, Oklahoma area. So y'all, 5.1 is a pretty decent earthquake, especially in a state that doesn't have a major fault. And so 5.1, but it was a series of earthquakes and minor earthquakes that there was like 35 or so just in that area. So all of those little dots, those are earthquakes. And so those were all last night and this morning. And so that's pretty crazy, y'all. There's a lot of people on Facebook. So anytime there's an earthquake or something like that, immediately people take to Facebook and post, "Did y'all feel that? That was an earthquake." And so we did not feel those. Like I said, that happened early this morning, late last night, and just like the thunderstorms, we was already asleep. So we didn't feel anything. We didn't hear anything. We were dead. We were out. And so, but that's the way it goes. It would have been nice to be able to feel it and to experience it, but we had an earthquake here a few weeks ago, and I felt that one, and that was closer to home here, though, so whatever. You guys, did you know Oklahoma had earthquakes? Now you do. So I'm sure you knew we had thunderstorms, since we are pretty much the world capital for... Oh my gosh, that scared me. Had a limb fall out of the tree. So anyway, we are the world capital for earthquakes. Not earthquakes. Let me change that. We are the world capital for tornadoes. At least pretty close to it. So anyway, you guys, I hope that you had a great week. I hope that you enjoyed the improved weather. I hope you had improved weather. We did, y'all. It was beautiful this week. We had 70s. One day we were mid 70s, and a couple of days we were low 70s. All week we were in the mid to upper 60s at least. And so we had sunshine, we dried out, we got some rain, we had a series of beautiful days, great weather. And if you can't have nice grass and a green yard in August and September, you might as well have it in February. So I'm going to put a picture up right here of what that looks like here in our yard. We have some grass growing. We have some clover coming up. We have other green vegetation. Some is weeds and other types of greenery. And so, yeah, you guys, this weather, a lot of people say a lot of things about how strange this weather is. Y'all, it's not really that strange. The weather is cyclical, and it's not yearly. It is 5, 6, 7 years cycles. It's different. What we have in our minds about what the weather was like when we were kids, oh, we had snow all winter long. Not in Oklahoma. We've never had snow all winter long in Oklahoma. We've had long stretches where we had snow, but people think, oh, well, we had freezing temperatures for 2.5 months. No, we haven't. We've always had temperatures that were mild. We've always had super cold temperatures. And so, y'all, we get this ideal about what the weather was like in previous years, in our childhood, in our young adult lives. We always look back, and something that happened for a day or a week or even a month, we attribute to a longer period of time. We don't do that with just weather. We do that with all types of memories, where as time goes by, we just look and we focus at one thing or a couple of things, and we stretch them out, and they seem in our memory to have taken longer or lasted longer. It's not the way it works. So, you guys, whatever the weather is today, it's going to change. At some point, it's going to be different. It's overcast today. It's breezy today. Tomorrow, we may get a little more rain. But here in the next week, we're going to get some more sunshine, because weather changes. Anyway, done with the weather. You guys, this has been, this last few months has been kind of difficult for me, especially the last couple. Let me tell y'all a story. For those of you guys that have been with me since forever, back when the channel was Fat Man Fit Man, you know the struggles that I've gone through in my life with my health and my weight, and the challenges that I've faced and all that stuff. But I'm going to recap a little of that for some of you guys that haven't been around all that long, or have just known the channel as Delighted Acres Farm. And so, I grew up in a small town. I grew up playing baseball, playing basketball, and I was pretty healthy in high school. I graduated high school at 225 pounds, but it was a healthy 225 pounds, but I never saw it as healthy. I always, my entire life, my entire childhood growing up, I always saw myself as fat. And I was a pudgy little kid. I was a heavier kid. I wore bigger clothes than most kids. But I never was really that unhealthy looking back. But in the moment, at the time, I felt super unhealthy. I felt super fat, guys. Even when I was playing ball, I didn't want to tuck my shirt in playing baseball, because my fat belly, which when I look back at pictures of me in my uniform, it wasn't. I looked fine. I looked healthy. I didn't look like I weighed as much as I even did. But at 225 pounds, my senior year, I was the fastest kid in school. There were guys on the baseball team, 165, 170 pounds, and on any given day, we would beat each other in foot races. And so, with my size, and with my athletic ability, being able to run and all those things, I still thought I was fat. And so that was just a perception. And so that has been a struggle my entire life. I'm 50. I'll be 51 this summer. Still a struggle, but it's true now. I am definitely fat. I'm not as heavy. I'm not as big as I once was. There was a time that I was 385 plus pounds, and it was miserable. It was a miserable existence. I couldn't do anything. I was unhealthy. Y'all, I was drinking at a minimum of 6 20-ounce Dr. Peppers a day. Minimum. 6 20-ounce Dr. Peppers. Way more than that most days. And I was having basically 4 big meals, 4 heavy amounts of calories a day, and snacks in between. It was just not good. Once I got out of high school, once I stopped going to college and I got into life, y'all, I just wasn't active. I wasn't exercising. I was taking in way more calories than what I was burning. And so I went from 225 to 250 my first year of college. And I maintained at 250 for a number of years, and then it slowly crept up. 275, 300, 325, all the way up to more than 385 pounds. And I don't know what I was at my heaviest, because I was never on a scale that registered back then. And so that was a lot of years ago. Then I went through, I'll just tell you a little bit of my story. I went through a divorce, and I lost a lot of pounds after that. So I went from 385 plus down to 269 pounds. So basically 270 pounds that I maintained for a while. And then I started to be content with my job, with my life. I had moved on and things were improved. And so what I had lost out of stress and anxiety and stuff like that, whenever I became content, I wasn't paying attention to how I ate, to being active as much. And so I started to creep up again. And so from 270, 280, 300, and I kind of started to maintain around 300. I was a missionary in Jamaica during that time, and I came back to the States after a couple of years. I met Kelly. We got married in 2012, and I was right around the 300 mark. And then I got real content, because now I'm married and I'm eating more regular, and we are eating differently. And y'all know, most people, whenever they get married, they start to gain weight, and over the years they kind of play the yo-yo game. Lose some, gain some, lose some, gain some. But as stressors happened in my life, with the passing of my dad, it wasn't as big of a stressor as when my mom passed away. My dad, I felt that he was on borrowed time. We had a good relationship, but there were years that I expected that he was going to pass. So as much as I was surprised and it did hurt when he passed, I had a lot more peace. But my mom, when she passed, it was so sudden. It was so unexpected that it took me the best part of 2 years. Excuse me. It took me the best part of 2 years to come to grips with it. The first year for sure. But that really wrecked my health. It wrecked my eating habits. Not active except during work. And so I yo-yoed over the last couple of years. But so I have some of this stuff written down, my numbers. So July of 2020, I had found myself back up to 370 pounds. So July of 2020, 370 pounds. May of 22, I had gotten down to 333 and a half. And so almost 40 pounds I had lost. Part of that's because, like I said, active with work stuff, and I was trying to pay a little attention to what I was eating, but I wasn't doing a good job of it, mostly because I was active. Over the next month, from May 12th to June 12th, same year, I lost 10 pounds. I lost 10 more pounds. I was 323 pounds. I got down to 322, and then by the end of July of 2022, I was down to 316 and a half pounds. So guys, I had gone from 370 to 316 and a half. I felt better. I was sleeping better. I was still dealing with grief, but some work stuff changed, and I had some other things just change, and that added a different level of anxiety and frustration. And my anxiety, I tend to feed anxiety, so I will eat when I'm celebrating, when I'm frustrated, when I'm hungry, when I'm not hungry, when I'm bored. Anytime I'm an eater. I love food for any type of celebration or any type of grieving process. It's what I do. And it's what I've always done. I do better at times than I do at other times. But it's not good for my health. It's not good for my heart. It's not good for my joints. When I gain weight, my joints kill me. And it makes my heart and my lungs and everything work harder. So I got down to 316. And then I started to creep back up again because things changed at work. 321 by September. Y'all, when we went to Ohio for Christmas this last year, 2023, I got on the scale on Christmas morning. Y'all, let me just say, never get on the scale the day you're going to eat a bunch of food or potentially eat a bunch of calories. Don't do that. Don't get on the scale, because you'll be so depressed. You'll just want to eat more, and that's the way it works for me. I wanted just to eat more because, heck, I've already got to this point. I might as well. Anyway, Christmas morning, guys, I was back all the way up to 378.4 pounds. So 378.4 on Christmas just a month and a half ago. So that was super depressing. And I had a hard time on Christmas Day for part of it. I mean, I got over it. I can deal 378.4, guys. That sucks. Especially whenever you're a guy like me that has yo-yoed so much in your life. Since forever, I have yo-yoed. I have struggled. It has been just a struggle to be up not quite to my highest number, but I'm definitely close to my most unhealthy. Even when I was 385 plus pounds, I was probably in better shape, let's say, because I was younger. I was quite a bit. It was 20 years ago. So I'm 50 years old now. And so back when I was 30, it was easier because my body still had my youthful strength and youthful health, added to that. And so now that I'm 50, it is much more difficult to do those things that I could when I was unhealthy before. And so now I have much more work to do. Now I have much more of a struggle and a longer row to hoe now. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to get there. We're making decisions to be healthier. We're making decisions to not consume so many calories, to be more active. So let me tell you, I got on the scale just this morning. This morning, 374.0. Month and a half. I've gone from 378.4 to 374.0. So almost 4.5 pounds, guys. Almost 4.5 pounds since Christmas. And some people will say, well, you can lose 2-3 pounds a week. You should have lost 12 or 14 pounds. Doesn't matter. 4.5 pounds is progress. 4.5 pounds is better than 3. 4.5 pounds is a start. So you guys, that's what this is. This is a start. Things are changing. Things are going to change. The weather is going to improve. Spring is going to come. Summer's going to come. And I want to be healthy. By the time my birthday comes around at 51, so my goal was to hit 50 as healthy as I've been as an adult. That didn't happen. It's not going to happen at 51 either, because that's just not enough time. But each day can be different. Each day can be a day that I decide I'm going to do good. I'm going to do better. I'm not going to have a 750 calorie honey bun with icing. And the goodness. 750 calories, guys, for an iced honey bun with the cream in it. I love them. It's horrible. Horrible. And then to add a Dr. Pepper on top of that. And to add a bag of chips at lunch. And just, there are very few things that you can get out of a vending machine that are going to be healthy for you. So, if you guys have time, make the decision to prepare your food. Take your food. I take food with me, but it's always tempting to go to the vending machine while I'm at work and add to what food I take. And that's not what I want to do. So, my desire and my hope and my plan is to fix the food, prepare. Maybe I make it for the entire week. Maybe I make it each night before I have to get up. Because sometimes in the morning, I just don't want to do it. So if I plan ahead, maybe I can make some headway. So anyway, you guys, there's changes coming. There's changes coming. I may revisit Fat Man Fit Man occasionally. I might revisit Fat Man Fit Man once a month. Maybe I'll do it every Friday. I don't know. But just so you guys are aware, I'm going to be posting semi-regular about Fat Man Fit Man again, because I need to do it for myself. Whether it's because I need accountability or because I just need to put it on video so that I can see it. So I can see the progress or I can see the struggle. And maybe in all of that, it will encourage some of y'all and anybody who might watch those videos. So, and that was kind of the intent whenever we changed the name of the channel, was that we can incorporate health stuff and healthy living and exercise and how to prepare food more healthy and all those things. We can incorporate that into Delighted Acres Farm. And so that's one of the reasons we changed, because we have chickens and we hope to get other animals and things, and we have a garden, and all those things go together, and healthy eating. So you guys, I hope that this I hope you're still watching, because I'm gonna need the encouragement. Okay, so I'm asking you guys to please encourage me if I'm struggling. But encourage others in your life, not just me. Talk to your family. Maybe you're the one that needs the encouragement. If somebody's not encouraging you, maybe I will encourage you. Because we all need the encouragement, okay? We all need to do the things that keep us healthy or that get us healthy. So I know that we can be in this together. there's no reason we have to deal with this stuff on our own. Kelly is a big support for me, and so my hope is to be a big support for her in her journey as well, but also for you guys. So that's going to be it. That's where I'm going to end. But y'all, I hope that your year, I mean, January's already over, guys. I hope that January was a good time for you, even though the weather was not so great. But I hope February is even better as we get further into the year. Stay focused on your goals, whether it's health or with business or job or family or gardening or animals or whatever it is. Stay focused on those goals, and I hope that you are successful this year. But most important of all, stay focused on Christ, because He is the only one that matters ever. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to call it quits right there. I hope you did, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that it was informative to you. Anyway, whether you enjoyed it or it was uncomfortable, hit like, because if you're still watching, you might as well. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Ring the notification bell so you know when the new stuff comes out. And stay tuned for shorter videos about Fat Man, Fit Man, and health, but hopefully informative and that will be helpful for you guys and for others. So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna get off here. Y'all have a great rest of your day, whatever day it is you're watching this. I'll see you on the next video.